It doesn't matter how beautiful your sentences are. When the quiver in your voice or those nervous pitch shifts scream need for approval, you've already lost. In this video, I'm going to expose a truth that no speech class will ever tell you. Your tone of voice signals directly to your partner's survival instinct, whether you are a ruler or a weak follower. I've learned through painful experience how suddenly raising your voice or talking fast to justify yourself melts away your charisma in an instant. I discovered that authority resides in low resonance and the calmness of words. If your voice reeks of anxiety, your partner will never be able to view you as a sanctuary. I'm here to show you how to turn the vibration of your voice into a weapon that commands silence and respect without ever needing to shout. Step into the unseen. Welcome to the ultimate masterclass in decoding the female mind. The loser's voice. How your begging tone is killing your partner's instinct to respect you. The anatomy of vibration and the biology of the ear. Why your tone is more real than your words. Today, we are going to talk about one of the most complex and yet most ignored communication tools of humanity: vocal frequency. Before we dive into the specifics of relationships, let's take a moment to consider what sound actually is. Sound is the vibration of air molecules produced by our larynx. But in a marriage, sound is something far beyond physics. Voice is a direct carrier of your nervous system's current state. When you speak to your spouse, they receive two distinct messages. The first is your words, processed by the logical brain or the prefrontal cortex, and the second is your tone, which goes straight to the amygdala, the center for processing fear and emotion. It's fascinating to know that in human evolution, our ears were designed to detect danger. Millions of years ago, our ancestors had to discern from the tone of a sound whether a creature intended to attack or was calm. This instinct is still very much alive within us. When you speak to your partner with a sharp, loud, and high-pitched frequency, even if you say, "I love you, honey," their brain filters out the love and only receives the attack signal. This is why many major arguments start with a seemingly simple and innocent sentence. Let's dissect a long, real-life scenario. Imagine Reza coming home after a long day in heavy traffic. He is mentally exhausted, and his nervous system is in a sensitive state. Sarah has also been struggling with the kids all day and is equally tired. Sarah asks, "Reza, did you take the trash out?" If Sarah says this with a drawn-out, fluctuating tone, indicating exhaustion mixed with a complaint, Reza doesn't hear the word trash. He hears the voice of a mother figure interrogating him. Now, let's look at the dialogue. Reza, "I just got here. Let me catch my breath." Defensive tone. Sarah, "What did I even say? I just asked a question." Self-righteous tone with a higher frequency. In that moment, the war has begun. Why? Because Sarah's vocal frequency caused Reza's vocal cords to constrict. In this part, we learn how to control our resonance. Our voice can be like a soothing cello or like a constant annoying honk. We will scientifically examine how deep breathing allows the vocal cords to relax, moving the frequency of the voice from the throat down to the chest. This simple shift in where the sound is produced can prevent 50% of useless arguments. Next, we will move on to the 4 toxic tones that eat away at the foundations of intimacy like termites. The 4 vocal horsemen, a detailed dissection of destructive tones in the home. In Part 2, we want to enter the darker territories of verbal communication. Dr. John Gottman, a legend in relationship psychology, speaks of 4 behaviors that predict divorce with 90% accuracy. However, I want to break down these 4 behaviors from the perspective of sound so you can understand exactly where the friction lies. 1. The sarcastic pitch. Sarcasm is the most dangerous vocal form. In sarcasm, you create a contrast, positive words, but a contemptuous tone. For example, "Bravo! You really hit it out of the park." In this tone, you unnaturally raise the frequency of the words at the end of the sentence. This causes the listener's brain to experience cognitive dissonance. They don't know whether to react to the word bravo or the contempt behind it. The result? Deep feelings of stupidity and anger. Sarcasm is essentially a dagger delivered with a vocal smile. 2. The directorial or military tone. Many of us unconsciously speak to our spouses as if they were employees or soldiers. The hallmark of this tone is a lack of modulation and a sudden drop in frequency at the end of the sentence. When you say, "pass the salt," if the voice is flat and firm, you are issuing an order. Over time, this tone turns love into obedience, and no man or woman wants to feel like they are in a military barracks when they are at home. 3. The patronizing tone. This is the tone where you express words too clearly and with an artificial calm, like talking to a 5-year-old. For example, "Honey, how many times do I have to tell you?" This tone severely wounds your partner's pride. With this voice, you are saying, "I am smarter and more mature than you." This also destroys sexual intimacy, because no one can feel sexual desire for someone who treats them like a child. 4. The indifferent or robotic tone. This tone occurs when you have checked out of the relationship. It's a monotonous voice, devoid of emotion, without highs or lows. When your partner excitedly describes something and you say, "Oh, that's nice," in a flat tone, you are effectively cutting the roots of their enthusiasm with an axe. In this section, we will practice how to hunt these 4 tones in our own voices. I want you to consider a scenario like buying a house or deciding on a trip. We will write the incorrect dialogues using these tones and then translate them into an empathetic tone. We will learn how adding a bit of air to the voice, breathy voice, and softening the beginning of sentences can bypass your partner's defensive guard. This part of the program will help you realize why your spouse sometimes resists even your good suggestions, because your tone smells of dominance, not cooperation. Engineering an authoritative voice. Physical exercises to escape the throat trap. In the previous 2 parts, we understood how a bad tone can destroy a relationship. But now we want to enter the technical and training phase. Most people, when excited or nervous, have their voice migrate toward the throat and nose. This causes the voice to become thin, sharp, and shaky. In evolutionary psychology, this frequency indicates fear or lack of control. When you argue with your spouse using this voice, they subconsciously sense that you are weak or that you are attacking them to cover up your vulnerability. The chest resonance technique. An attractive and influential voice is one that resonates from the chest cavity. Let's walk through a training scenario together. Imagine your spouse has placed an item in the wrong spot for the 100th time. The wrong reaction. Throat voice. You shout from across the house with a sharp voice, "Why did you put this here again?" Your vocal cords are constricted, air is forced out of the throat, and the sound pierces the other person's brain like a drill. The result? Defensiveness and a fight. The right reaction. Chest voice. First, take a deep diaphragmatic breath. Your stomach should expand, not your chest. This lowers the diaphragm and creates more space for the vocal cords to vibrate. Now, move to a close distance and say in a deep, calm voice, "Honey, it bothers me when this is here. Please put it back in its place." In this part, we teach the low humming exercise. You should spend 2 minutes daily humming low notes with your mouth closed to train your laryngeal muscles to vibrate at lower frequencies. Why is this level of detail important? Because a deep voice activates the parasympathetic nervous system, the relaxation system, in your partner. With your voice, you are telling them, "I am calm, I am in control, and our home is a safe place." We learn how to control our speech rate like a professional narrator so that each word sits in the listener's mind like a precious gem rather than a barrage of bullets. Tone management in the war zone, the vocal contrast technique and anger neutralization. The hardest test for your tone of voice is when your spouse has lost their temper and is speaking to you in a very sharp and loud tone. At this moment, your brain tends to mirror them. That is, if they shout, you shout back. But this is like pouring gasoline on a fire. The vocal contrast technique is the most powerful tool for crisis management. When your partner's voice frequency rises, you must consciously lower yours. Let's analyze a real-life dialogue. Topic: family interference, one of the most sensitive subjects. Spouse, shouting and sharp tone. I'm sick of this. Your mom called again and picked on everything, and you just sat there in silence like always. Wrong answer, mirroring. What was I supposed to do? You're always looking for an excuse anyway. Why do you care so much about my mom? Here, both people are in the war frequency. Right answer, vocal contrast. You pause for 3 seconds to deliver oxygen to the brain. In a very calm, deep, and slow voice, you say, I understand how upset you are and that this call really bothered you. Let's sit down and talk calmly about how we can manage this situation together. When you answer a shout with a calm tone, the other person's brain experiences a positive shock. They can no longer continue shouting alone because your calm vibration dampens their chaotic vibration. In this part, we talk about softening words that only work when delivered with the right tone. We also learn how to use a true inquisitive tone instead of an accusatory inquisitive tone. This section teaches you how to take the steering wheel of the relationship with your voice in the heat of an argument and prevent a crash. The frequency of passion, the magic of voice in sexual and emotional intimacy. Many couples do not realize that their most attractive sexual organ is their larynx. In this part, we enter a discussion rarely examined with such precision in the media: the hormonal impact of voice. Whispering is not just a romantic gesture, it is a biological stimulant. When you speak into your partner's ear in a very low, slightly breathy voice, it stimulates the vagus nerve and causes an immediate release of oxytocin, the hormone of love and bonding. Let's examine a typical night scenario. A couple sitting exhausted on the couch after putting the kids to bed. Scenario A, administrative tone. Husband: I have to wake up early tomorrow. Let's go to sleep. Tired and indifferent tone. Result: the wife feels like she is just part of a boring routine. Scenario B, passion tone. The husband moves closer to his wife, looks into her eyes, and says in a deep, calm voice, You have no idea how much I've been waiting for this hour just for the two of us to be alone. You were absolutely incredible today. The difference is not in the words, it's in the texture of the voice. In this section, we learn how to use vocal affirmations. During sexual intimacy, using the voice, moans, whispers, and positive descriptions increases pleasure by up to 400%. Why? Because the voice makes your partner feel that you are completely present in the moment and that they are being worshipped. We also explore vocal taboos and how breaking the heavy silence of the bedroom can reignite a cold relationship. Voice is body language set into vibration. Summary and action plan. How to turn your home into a concert of tranquility. We have understood that the voice is the fingerprint of our soul. In this final part, we want to summarize everything we've learned into a 1-week roadmap. You must transform from a content consumer into a practitioner. First week action plan. Record and analyze. Record a 5-minute conversation with your spouse, with their permission or as a drill. At night, when you are alone, listen to it with the ear of an impartial judge. Is your tone stinging? Do you mumble? Does your voice smell of hopelessness? The 5-second pause rule. Before responding to any sentence that triggers your emotions, stay silent for 5 seconds. During these 5 seconds, move your voice from your throat to your chest. Nightly whisper technique. Every night before sleep, say at least 3 admiring sentences to your spouse in a whispering and intimate voice. Remember, your home is an acoustic space. Don't let the noise of exhaustion and the static of anger interrupt the music of your love. In episode 11, we will head toward one of the most exciting topics: physical territory and the power of conscious touch. Stay with us.